the main sexual desire tends to be more visually driven. What do I mean? When a man sees things that are sex related and so forth, immediately the sexual drive is there. Men respond to sex.
Welcome to the Dr. Marriage Says podcast. My name is Don, and in this episode, I'm joined by Dr. Denias. Dr. Denias, welcome to the Dr. Marriage Says podcast.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to our viewers out there. I'm actually encouraged by the number of views that have taken place in such a short time. There are thousands and thousands of views that have been done on this program. I would want to encourage all our viewers to subscribe. Can you imagine? Over 9,000 people have already viewed, but the subscriptions are very low. Please, if you want more of this, can you subscribe, subscribe, and subscribe? Thank you so much for listening to this program.
As I highlighted earlier, today we are discussing an important question raised by one of the viewers. I'll let the viewers speak for themselves so that we can all hear what they have to say or what their question is.
It was just another regular evening. I came home after a long day, and as I walked through the door, I noticed something unusual. Letters. The postman had dropped them off earlier, and one envelope caught my eye. It was addressed to both me and my husband. Now, you know that feeling? When you see a bill and your gut instinct is to ignore it, hoping maybe, just maybe, it'll magically sort itself out? Well, this one wasn't giving us that luxury. I opened the letter, and there it was, a shocking revelation. Our council tax was unpaid. And this wasn't just any bill. It was the final notice. Multiple reminders ignored. And now, the letter warned us our account was being handed over to debt collectors. I felt the blood drain from my face. Panic hit. How had this happened? And then it hit me harder. My husband knew about it. I was furious. Why hadn't he told me? Why was he keeping something this important from me? We were partners, and yet I was completely in the dark about our finances. But the worst part? He came home late that night. I left the letter open on the table so he would see it. He walked in, glanced at it, and did nothing. No conversation, no explanation. Instead, after a long day with that letter looming in the air, what did he do? He tried to initiate sex. Can you imagine? My mind was miles away from intimacy. I was drowning in stress and anger, trying to figure out how we'd even let this happen. But there he was, eager to connect physically while I was spiraling emotionally. The disconnect between us had never felt more real. Of course, I turned him down, and I don't think that went over very well. But here's the thing. Neither of us really knew how to handle the situation. Maybe he thought sex would lighten the mood, bring us closer. But for me, it wasn't about physical closeness. It was about emotional distance, lack of communication. The next day, we finally sat down and had one of the most honest, raw conversations we've had in a long time. I told him how betrayed I felt, how his approach to intimacy that night made me feel unheard, and he admitted he didn't want to bring up the stress. He thought avoiding it would make it easier. But all it did was make it worse. We talked, we listened, and I realized this wasn't just his fault. I hadn't asked sooner, and he hadn't kept me in the loop. What did we learn? Communication is everything. Financial stress can wreak havoc on a relationship. But sweeping it under the rug? That's never the answer. When one partner feels overwhelmed, the other needs to listen. Not just try to fix things. Not just use physical closeness as a distraction. A relationship thrives when there's honesty, when there's respect, especially when dealing with the hard stuff. So here's the question for you, Dr. Marriage. How do unpaid bills affect a couple's sex life?
What a question, what a question. Dr. Marriage, can you please walk us through this question?
What a letter. And thank you for that letter. That's a good letter. and hope this will encourage other viewers to communicate with us, those who are able to. I would want people to know that there is a great difference between the brains of men and women when it comes to sexual motivation and desire, as we can actually see from this letter. Number one, men's brain. The men's sexual desire tends to be more visually driven. What do I mean? When a man sees things that are sex related and so forth, immediately the sexual drive is there. Men respond to sexual imagery and visual, as I've just said. So, in general, the brains of a man are wired for quicker sexual arousal and spontaneous desire. While, on the other hand, the women's brains, women's sexual, um, women's sexual desires, they consider the context. What is the context? Yes, you want to do sex, but what is the context? Where are we getting from? Where are we? That's the thing that is there. And by so doing, for them to engage, to start to think of that, they need security, they need safety, they need to know that intimacy is there. Their brains are more likely to engage when they feel a sense of trust and relational closeness. I just want to add a little bit what I've said, right? I want you to know that for a husband and wife, sex is the destination. But the question is, how do we get to that destination? To the husband, the destination is direct, no bus stop. You reach the destination called sex, very short. But to the wife, the destination is several bus stops. This is where the difference is. There's a bus stop that is called stress. If a woman is stressed, there is no way that she can desire sex. This is what we are seeing here. She has fully expressed that there was no way that she was in the mood of that, but the guy wanted it. This is just so the difference that is there. And I respect this guy for one thing that he didn't force. Because as I always say, sex has to be fun. There was no fun here. The person was in stress because of what he had seen. Number two, there's another bus stop called stress. There's another bus stop called love. This person who wants to do sex with me, does he love me? These are the questions that women ask. And if she feels unloved, then she's not in it. She's not in it. If you remember, there was another time I talked about so many people forcing to do sex when someone is not ready. It is because of these things. You feel unloved, and yet somebody just wants to advance and have sex. That's not it. There's another backstop to a wife that is called the empathy. Does this guy feel for me? Am I the most important person in this guy's life?
Thank you. That's a very interesting survey that you've actually shared. But I wanted us to move on to the next question. What is financial joy?
This is what I would call the dream of every person, of every family, of every couple. Financial joy, let me try to illustrate it with these 5 examples. Number one, financial joy I want you to imagine this. Financial joy is a life where your financial situation no longer causes stress, anxiety, or sleepless nights. That's financial joy. Number two, imagine financial joy is a life where you are able to assist and support your loved ones financially. Everybody wants to do that. Imagine Imagine, financial joy is a life where you assist people from the community, people who are not related to you, but people that you just see suffering, and then you have a heart for them and you assist. And lastly, financial joy is a life where you have the freedom and independence to live life on your own terms, not on the terms of someone. Can you imagine that you have to wake up in the morning at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. to go for a job? That's not your terms. It's the terms of somebody else.
Seeing a sex and unpaid bills can cause so many challenges in marriages. Are there any financial strategies that are simple that people can implement in order to be happy in their relationships financially? What are people's attitudes and beliefs towards money?
Yes. I'm going to give 11 examples. So on those 11 points that I'm going to talk about, I would want each and every viewer to check and see where you are, number one, you yourself. And number two, to check and see where your spouse is. Number one, on people's attitudes, behaviors, and beliefs about money, there is someone who is called, number one, a passenger. This is the person who doesn't know what is going on. There is money in the family, but the person doesn't know what is going on with the money. Number two, there is someone who is just working 2 or 3 jobs. And I know what I'm talking about because I remember there was a time when I had 3 jobs trying to settle in this country. It's not easy. 2 jobs are very common with a lot of people, but some people even go for 3 jobs. I did it, so I know what I'm talking about. Number 3, there are some people who are always looking for shortcuts to make money. Shortcuts. Number 4, there is what I call the avoider. They are known for saying, I'll do this tomorrow. I'll do this tomorrow. And that tomorrow will never come. They avoid dealing with financial issues. Number 5 is what I call the impulsive behavior. These are the people who are known for going to shop and buy things that they don't need. If the things are on sale, half price, whatever promotions, they just buy them, but they don't need them. They go for shopping. They don't have a shopping list. They just pick what is there. This is the reason why even these supermarkets and so forth, they reduce things and put them by the entrance or somewhere near the tills to attract people. And they specialize in that to know that there are people who just buy from impulsive buyers. Number 6, there are people who have no savings at all. No savings, no pension. They don't even think about it. Their plan is to live by donations. Number 7, there are those who show off with money. Instead of dressing in the way that suits with their money, they go an extra mile to look for designer things that they don't afford and buy them on credit. All what they want is they want to be seen. Drive expensive cars that they get on loan and other higher purchases, whatever it is, just to show off. Number 8, I like number 8 now. These are the guys, these are the people, this is a family, this is a spouse who is organized when it comes to money. The first thing when they get money before month end, they create a budget and they have goals that they have. Number 9, I also like number 1. These are the people who believe in financial independence. They work hard to set up other things that will support their salaries, come up with businesses and other investments, other things that they can do so that they can have enough money that they can also be able to assist their relatives and other people in the community, as I said before. I also like number 10. Number 10 are the people who use their money as soldiers. What I mean is, if you use your money as soldiers, is you send your money out to capture other soldiers. You have to come up with a strategy, because if you don't have a strategy, your soldiers will be captured out there. But you have a strategy that you put in place, that your money will go for you as soldiers and bring in more captives all the time. These are the people who are called investors. And lastly, number 11, there is what I call the generous giver. You find joy in assisting other people, in giving to charity. You find joy in those things.
In previous discussions, I've heard you talking about the golden years of finance. Could you kindly share with us what the golden years of finance are?
A span, that financial span that is used by financial advisors. They talk about the years from 0 to 25, time for the person to grow, time for the person to go to secondary school, uni, then come back qualified and so forth. That they say roughly it takes about 25 years. So in other words, by the age somebody reaches 25 years, you are supposed to be in a meaningful employment. So you have 25 up to 60 years. This is what we call the golden years. These are the years when you are supposed to thrive, making money, working and making money. Can you imagine? I'm proud of myself, so I'm not ashamed to say my age. I'm 65 right now, and I know nobody believes my age. Each time I tell people my age in here, they say bring your passport because you look 48. I'm 65. So, in other words, by the time you reach my age, you need to have your retirement in place, because I had my 35 years of working uninterrupted. Very important. What is the most important thing during the golden years? The most important thing during the golden age, it is to invest in yourself, because you are the person who should make the money. So how do you invest in yourself? You invest in yourself by reading, reading, and reading. The more you read, the more ideas you get. I'm talking of something that I've done myself. I have financially educated myself. I was telling my daughter the other time that the amount of knowledge that I now have about finance, investment, and other things, I can actually qualify to go and teach at the university, teaching a degree in that just by reading. Do you know what I like? What I read about another time, and I really liked it. It said, the moment you start working, 25 years, the moment you start working, you are only supposed to rent for 5 years. After that, you're supposed to buy your own house. Can you imagine how many people have been working for 15 years, 10 years, 20 years, paying rent to somebody? If you calculate the amount of money that you've given away, all what it means is you did not get the information that is relevant to know that the first 5 years of working, you are supposed to save for the deposit of your own money. I like the system, especially here in UK. The system is very favorable for the first-time buyers. So if you read and read, you get a lot of information. Another one that I said, people don't get this simple thing, that when you are renting, you can't buy an expensive car when you are renting to go and park a posh car where you are renting. You see? All that money that is in that posh car, they're just supposed to sell that posh car and deposit your own property Even if it's a one bed, it's yours. It's yours. It's different than giving somebody money. So you get ideas, first of all, when you invest yourself. And now, because of technology and other things, I'm talking of investing yourself. I'm not even talking of yourself paying any money, just reading things on YouTube and online. That's what I've done. I was told a story by another guy that I really like. I worked with this guy some years ago, and obviously he was from Africa, but we worked together in this country in UK. This guy says there was uh, there was a reverend in Africa who decided to do a big crusade, big church meeting. So he went on YouTube and found this other preacher that he thought was a great preacher. So he contacted him that he can come to Africa and assist him to do soul winning. The preacher agreed. He came for 2 weeks, but when he was in the second week, he called this reverend for a meeting in his church. And he said to the reverend, look, we just want to play a game here. This is just a game. We are relaxing and so forth. I just want to know, what would you do if someone gives you 1 million US dollars? And he was given a paper and a pen to list everything that he would do with that money. And the man of God started listing things, listing things. When he had finished, the man looked at that paper and he said to the reverend, listen, you invited me here. You didn't know me, but I want you to know that I am a millionaire. And I had made up my mind that I was going to give you a million US dollar. But from what you have written on this piece of paper, I can see that you are not ready for a million US dollars. So I'm not giving you because you are not ready for it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? This is a true story. In other words, we have a lot of people who don't know what to do with money. This is the reason why when you see people winning lottery and so forth, within some few years, they are broke and yet they'd 1 million because they don't know what to do with money. They are not financially educated. I'm not trying to say I'm smart or anything, but I want you to know that the information that I now have about money, if I had this information 19 years ago when I came in this country, I could be far much better than where I am right now. So invest in yourself first. Get financial education. Self-educate yourself so that you are able to deal with money and money issues. These 35 years that I was talking about, I also want you to know that they are called crucial years. Why are they crucial? During the 35 years, we call it career booming years. In those 35 years, you are supposed to get jobs where you get more money all the time. Your salary should not go down, it should always go up. But it's not all roses during these 35 golden years because we are talking of up to 60 years. During those 35 years, there can be some issues with poor health. During those 35 years, there are what we call unexpected life events. For an example, divorce. There are so many people who have found themselves in a divorce and it has affected them badly. There's death. You can lose your spouse during the 35 years. I know so many people who have lost their spouses to normal illness and accidents. What are the solutions for that? It's important to come up with savings, simple savings. Whatever your salary is, even if you get 100 US a month, you must save 50p. 50 cents, even if it's 20 cents, as long as it's consistent. Develop the habit of saving. Number two, write a will. Get an insurance policy. There are a lot of people, ordinary people, who had life insurance, and then death happened, and the remaining person found themselves with good money from insurance policies. Lastly, prepare for your retirement. Prepare for your retirement. You are going to retire. You are going to reach 65 years like me. Are you going to work the rest of your life until you are in your 75 because you have nothing to live on? Prepare for retirement.
I've also heard you talking about the financial pyramid. What is the financial pyramid?
Yes. I've put it here on the board so everyone can see it. Okay. I'll start on the bottom about this financial pyramid. Number one, it is right at the bottom. That is called financial crisis. These are the people who are in such a financial situation that they are not even able to look after themselves. As you can see from this pyramid, there are actually a lot of people who are down there, followed by those I call financial instability. They have to live from hand to mouth. Nothing. Trying saving and other things, it's not working. But as I've already said, try to save something, no matter how small your salary is, even if it's only £5, $5, $10 every month, it means a lot. Save. Uh, Number three, it is what I call the financial stability. If you notice, I've tried to highlight that, and I've done it for a purpose, because the financial stable people, many of them, they get deceived. These are the guys who have degrees, both of them are working, they are living a good life, but where is the problem? They are sustaining a good life with their salaries. They don't have any other side hustle, it's only their salaries. That type of life cannot be sustained if you stop going to work. That type of life cannot be sustained if you are disturbed. These are the people that if something disturbs them, just something disturbs them, they will go for serious depression. And I know what I'm talking about. I know guys who have been in that bracket, and something happened. They lost their jobs because of other situations, so many things, illness, whatever it is. And they found themselves going down to financial instability. In other words, financial stability is in the middle. When you are financially stable, I'm saying to you, go up, go to financial independence. Then when you are in financial independence, you are safe. Whatever happens to you, you are not able to work, you have things in place that can give you the equivalent of your salary. As I've already said, I want to repeat it because it's very important. Financial stability hits a lot of people. They drive good cars, they stay in good houses, but all those things, they are just being serviced by salaries and they have nothing else. Guess what? There are even some people who are in a financial stability staying in expensive houses that are not theirs. So this is very deceiving. It's a deceiving stage where you have a lot of money, but it's coming from the employer, it's coming from your job. You need to invest in things so that you become financial independent, which is number four. These are the people who live on their own terms. They don't go to work. No. If they go to work, it's because they want to. So if they go to work, they don't start at 6 a.m. They don't start at 7 a.m. No. Maybe they just go for a meeting at 11 a.m. for 1.5 hours. and they go and do whatever they enjoy in life, followed by those who have what I call the financial freedom. So this is the financial pyramid. You can read about it on Google and listen to the things.
Are there any simple financial strategies that you would like to share with our viewers?
This is going to surprise a lot of people and shock a lot of people. Do you know that in the whole world, there are just 5% of the population who are doing the right thing with money? These 5%, they operate with a budget. These 5%, they have put systems in place that will help them to make money. I want you to know that the moment you begin to budget your money, no matter how little it is, you come up with financial goals, you read about finance, you understand it, you will join the 5%. Anyone can join the 5%. People are not organized when it comes to money. Some people, they use the money before they even earn it. The 5%, they sit down and plan and come up with a budget and they stick to the budget. So the challenge that I'm giving you is, can you join the 5%? This is one of the financial strategies. Be intentional. Sit down and plan about your money before month end, before the money gets into your account. Plan how you want to use it and set aside savings. I've already told you, no matter how little you get, develop the habit of saving to know that you are supposed to save money. Number two, build your retirement home early. Wherever you want to retire, wherever, just do it early. Number three, acquire assets that you can liquidate when you are in retirement. Number four, which is very, very important to me, join a healthy club or a gym and look after yourself. There are some people who have a lot of money, but they don't have good health. You don't enjoy that. Prioritize your health. I'm now talking as a public health special practitioner. It's very important to be active, physically active. And if you just want to be serious with your life, every day, go out for a walk for 45 minutes daily. And secondly, stop taking sugar of any kind. This will help you to improve your health. Join a healthy club, join a gym. You may want to know that the reason why I look so young, it is because I go to the gym every other day, if not daily. I go to the gym, so I know what I'm talking about. Even stress, you and stress, you live, you travel at parallel lines. Number five, pay off all debts before you retire. Even as you join the 5%, pay off your credit card. Number six, start saving for retirement early in life.
Thank you. Coming back to our previous question that was asked by our viewer, what are the main areas of conflict as it relates to money?
Money can create conflict and tension in a marriage due to so many reasons. I'm just going to highlight maybe just six of those. Number one, it is the spending habit. If your spouse has got a different spending habit than yours, it will affect. And also having different financial goals. Another thing is your attitude towards money. What is your attitude towards money? And another point is what I call financial infidelity. When you cheat with money, you lack of financial trust, financial infidelity. and also conflict in debt management strategies and so forth. The conflicts can arise even over budgeting priorities. Listen, when you have kids and you are not organized in dealing with money, that will create serious conflicts because the question is who will babysit? Who is going to babysit? And whose money is it? Can you imagine another spouse saying, let's split the bills half half when the other person is babysitting more than the other one? This is the reason why there are so many conflicts with money.
Could you kindly recommend any solutions that can help people so that they can be able to overcome these conflicts that may arise as a result of finances?
Yes. Number one, establish open communication. Schedule money talks. Maybe you come up with an idea where a week before the salary is coming and whatever, discuss about money beforehand. Don't discuss when the money is there. Don't begin to budget when the money is there. Budget before the money is in. Number two, set shared financial goals. Remember, I'm saying shared because you need to work together. Work together. Number three, create a comprehensive joint budget where every monthly you can even do 6 months, even something that is comprehensive. Number four, this one is the third one. Number four, do not pretend that you are not going to die. It is very, very important that every person should come up with a funeral policy, a burial policy, because death will come one day. Number five, emergency fund to cover unexpected expenses. Number six, manage debt together. Develop a plan together on what you are going to do as a family so that you deal with money issues. Now, I just want you to do an activity right now. As you are listening to this, I want you to get a pen and a paper and then enjoy what I'm going to talk about. You now have your pen and paper. I want you to divide it into two and come up with what I call my strengths and my weaknesses when it comes to managing money. Then can you list your four strengths? What are your four strengths in managing money? And what are your four weaknesses in managing money? Can you imagine if you can do that faithfully and then your partner will do that faithfully? You then discover that there is one probably who can manage finance than the other. Then you can task each other who should be in charge of what. I like this activity. I've done it before and it has helped us to manage our money.
As a minister, could you share with us what the Bible says about wealth?
I think number one, the Bible does not promise wealth to Christians. A lot of people are very mistaken to think that when you are a Christian, you have money and you become rich. That is wrong. It's not in the Bible. The Bible does not promise wealth to Christians. Number two, I like the verse that is in the Bible that says, remember the Lord your God because he is the one who gives you the power to get wealth. Another version says he's the one who gives you the capacity. I like that one. He's the one who gives you the capacity to get rich. But what should you do? You must remember him. Remember him. That's why the Bible is very clear that when you are, everybody doesn't have to be a Christian. We are supposed to return 10% for God's work. Number three, wealthy is a gift from God. When something is a gift, it's not yours. It's a gift that have been given to you, and you need to use it wisely. Number four, wealthy is dangerous. I know people who have destroyed their marriages because they started businesses. They gave more time to the business than to the family. Wealth can be dangerous if you don't manage it well. And number 5, this one is the third one. Avoid being wealthy by dishonest means.
I've learnt a lot from you today. You've really shared a lot about finances and how we can improve and avoid conflict in our marriages. But if you were to summarize, what would be the key points that you could help our viewers so that they can be able to take away as they reflect on this?
Okay. Here are the main points from what I've been saying. Here are the main points. Number 1, decide to get out of debt because this will affect your sexual life. It may not affect you when you're a man that way, but it will affect your spouse. We have already read that from the letter that we have. So decide to get out of debt and deal with money the proper way so that the other half is not affected. Number 2, read, 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 read or listen to things on YouTube about money. Why? Because you get ideas. You get ideas. For your own information, what we are doing right now, this podcast, we got these ideas from YouTube. You get the ideas when you read and listen. I have turned my car to be a university classroom because I listen to things all the time. So read, read, read. Number 3, start something today. Start something. Start something. I've already told you that even if you are getting as little as you think, start to save something. Start something. Number 4, savings. And I would want to recommend, because I know there are some listeners who can afford what I'm talking about. I read what is called the 30 stroke 70%. The 30 stroke 70% says 30% of your saving, your salary or your income should be used this way. Number 1, 10% you return tithe, and then 10% it goes for saving, and then 10% you invest it in something that will give you money a little at a time. So it's called the 30-70% rule. It is doable. You can do it. Number 5, do not rent for more than 5 years. There is no reason that you can give for renting for more than 5 years. Number 6, invest in yourself. If you invest in yourself, there will be the difference. Invest in yourself. You know, I'm reminded there was a time when I was invited to talk to another church about the financial lifespan. This one excited me because after my presentation, it was now question time, and somebody said, "Mine is just a question. I'm so excited that today I have met a Christian financial advisor. So you help me with my patient." I laughed. I said, "No, I'm not a financial advisor. I've just read, and listened to things. And now I understand finance. Anyone can be like me to understand how money is used and join the 5%. Number 7, look after your health. Why? Because it will affect your sexual life. Simple. It will affect your sexual life. Number 8, protect your family. Protect your loved ones. Remember, a woman, for her to get to the destination called sex, she needs to know that she's secure, she's safe. She's married someone who loves them, empathy and everything. Protect your loved ones. Make a will, have an insurance, and come up with a burial policy. Number 9, join the 5%. What do? They plan. They make a budget. They have a 6-month plan. They've got a yearly plan. They've got a 5 years plan. They know where they want to go. And it's exciting to see things being fulfilled if you have got plans and goals that you have in place. And lastly, discuss and agree on a retirement plan. I want to thank you so much for listening to this program, to this presentation, and I hope you have enjoyed it. Uh, as usual, if you have come all this way listening to me and you have not subscribed, no way, come on. This is the time to hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. We really appreciate you. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And if you'd like to watch another video, there's a list of videos here on our playlist that you can be able to watch next. God bless. See you in the next episode.